Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Stories That Shape Us. My name is Joanna Daniel. So, I've been dealing with stress without the stress since Thursday, and today is our final day, and I'm looking at effective coping strategies to deal with stress. What are some of those effective coping strategies to deal with stress that will lead to us not becoming distressed, right? So, most of the strategies, if not all of the strategies that I'm going to teach you today is with the body. But I'm going to first talk about the mind, right? Because stress is not just a psychological process that we think our way out of. We have to also deal with what's going on in the body, because when we are stressed, when we are that hit, it our bodies are flooded with stress hormones, and we need to know what to do with all of that to work it off so it doesn't become distress. But let's deal with our minds first. If you've listened to the very first episode of Stories That Shape Us, owning your emotions, and what happened on moving day. And as far as stress is concerned, moving is right up there on the list of things that is right. On moving day, I noticed that different things was happening. The mood was shifting. I was becoming frustrated and snappy. Was able to pull myself back on what was going on, shift gear, be able to see the room, hear my children, know what was going on for them, and what was happening. It was behavior. It was just their response to a stressful event, which is moving. Because I understood that, it helped me to make different choices in how I respond. I could be more my responses. I could speak calmly. I could take deep breaths. I could weigh. I could ignore. So when you understand yourself and when you understand how the people that you love manage stress, it helps you in your responses. The Bible says, a soft answer turns away wrath, but grievous words stirs up anger, right? Anger is oftentimes response to stressful situations. But when we what is it that causes us to become, let's talk about some cognitive tools that we can use. So we can use tools such as affirming, reframing what is happening. We can tell ourselves the truth of what's happening. What is happening? What's the truth about what's going on here? We can reframe it. We can tell ourselves the truth about it, and we can encourage ourselves. We can affirm ourselves. We can do all that wonderful stuff, all that wonderful cognitive tools. However, and this is why when I'm dealing with stress or things like this, I like to start with the body, because when we are stressed, when we are in stress, when we're in our stress response, whether that's anger, frustration, shutdown, fawning, whatever, when we're in our stress response, we often are in our emotional brain. We're not in our frontal lobe where we do reasoning and thinking and decision making. So we won't be thinking, how can I reframe this? Because we're in the emotional brain. We're not going to be able to reframe anything. All we're doing is feeling lots of emotions that we won't know what to do with. So one of the first things to learn to do is to deep breathe, is to calm. So as we doing that, we're responding and not reacting. And that's where we can do the soft answer. Because if we don't know how to back and how to take control, we will forever live reacting and not responding. If you're a mother of a teenage son, you'll understand that we have to do a lot of responding and not reacting, because teenagers in the emotional brain, right? They're the now, they live on the edge. Let's try new things. Let's do new things. And understand that lots of times there's fractious relationship between parents and teenagers because we don't understand the process of happening. And so we have to offer grace. I was in the kitchen recently, just not in the kitchen, sitting at the dining table, and my son came in, and whenever yogurt comes in the house, he eats the whole pot, and I'm like, I wanted some of that, I thought to myself. And he walked past. I was on the phone as I said it, just mouthed it to him, and he saw, and he was like, with some an attitude. laughed because I thought, what? There's no need for that. So I laughed. I'm not going in the emotional brain with you. Okay, I'm gonna stay present. I'm gonna stay focused. I'm gonna let you be in the emotional brain, give attitude, and go back. And I'm gonna leave it for now. It wasn't that big a deal anyway, right? But sometimes I'm not always as chilled when he does it, right? When they do it, because sometimes other things might be going on for me. That happens, and it's a reaction, not a response. But I've learned over the years how to respond and not react, how to take a moment, how to deep breathe, how to speak calmly, how to be measured. But all of that meant that I needed to understand what was going on for me when certain things happening, understand my response. Because when we do, it creates some space, a window that gives you the opportunity to think, to breathe, to do something that gives you access to your frontal lobe so you can react and not you can respond rather and not react. Sometimes that will serve you at work, that will serve you in an argument, that will serve you in a really good tool that helps you with conflict management, because now, because you're responding and not reacting, you're not having an argument, you're just stating. You can reaffirm your boundaries, you can say how you feel, you can ask for what you need, you can be calm, are not dealing with, but you're dealing with it by your deep breathing, working your shoulders a little bit. You can do all these things and nobody needs to know what's going on, but it's just you taking it back, you pulling it back, and you control of every situation. Because there are going to be people that will send you in that place regularly. Now, I have to say this. If you're living in a home where there's abuse, if you're a woman living in a domestic abusive situation, it might not be that easy for you to do. And you might react a lot. And because you react a lot, you might be told that you're abusive when you know that you're the one that has endured, and all those pinpricks over and over and over that nobody can see. It just gets too much sometimes, and it bubbles to the surface and it flows over. And the flow over might harm people, or it might get you being called names, or get you to put you on the defensive. So you will need support and help to be able to manage that, to understand it for yourself, to release all the names that you've been called, to build back up your confidence and your sense of self. You might not be able to do it in the situation. Reach out to a domestic abusive service, the Women's Aid. Reach out to us. We offer services, and get some help to help yourself to be able to put yourself back in a position where you can respond and not react. I have to say, sometimes it's not always easy to manage stress effectively in the environment that causes the stress. So if you're going through the woods and you're running from a bear, your body's flooded with stress that make you run. But if you live with that bear and there's nowhere to go, you're living with stress hormones day by day by day. You really need support in order to be able to help you to effectively manage, so that you can get the help that you need to escape the bear, whoever the bear is. If you're a young person and you're listening to this, reach out to social services. If you're an adult and you're living in an abusive relationship, reach out to Women's Aid, call the police. They sometimes have domestic abusive units. Ring somebody who can offer you some support to help you with this. If you are in a healthy home environment and you're managing stress, use some of the strategies that I mentioned in this video, and that will help you to manage. So other things that you can do is go for a walk. I always say go over a hill, stamp, do things that make your heart rate go up, so that it can help to work off the stress. Go for a walk, do some stretching, deep breathing. If you're in bed and you can't go for a walk, lie on your back, relax every muscle from your head to your toe and from your toe back up. Deep breathe and help to relax your body. If you can get up and you can move, movement is ideal. It's the best. Okay, it helps you to work off the stress hormone. So I'm inviting you, one of the things I'm inviting you to do is to have a regular exercise regime. Whether it's going for a walk, that's my favorite thing to do. Go for a walk regularly. If you can't go outside for a walk, do you know that there are actually walking videos on YouTube that helps you to walk? I was walking in my house one Day for Harris will say, step here now and do this now, and you'll feel like you've walked up a hill. So there's so many things available to us that we can use right there in our homes. If it's raining, if you can't go outside, if you can go outside, do it. Walk around the house, walk around your neighborhood, walk around the block, find a park, whatever is convenient and safe. Do that and do regular exercise. If you can't go walking and you can swim, go swimming, cycling, any one of those physical activities. Play football with the children, basketball with the children, tennis with the children, run around. Children always want people to run around with them. So if you have children, that might be something to do that will help you to move your body, to help you to release stress and to help you to manage effectively. Thank you for joining me in this episode of Stories That Shape Us. I hope you'll join me on the next story. Take care.